Good evening, Gabby.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Currans, the Curran View, with the Order of Hillsborough, Mr. Terry Curran. Steady away, son. What kind of week you had?
Yeah, not bad. Steady away as usual.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed on the socials there while I was waiting to call you up, Brian Robson's appearing at Dudley Town Hall on the 13th of November later on this year. So that's one for your diary. I've never been to see Robbo. I think I might go and give that a look in. And Shabana Hearn is the host, the girl from TalkSport. I do think she's a very good host, and I think she'll do a really good show there with Robbo. So one for your diary, guys. Magic moments, TC. What you saw for us this week?
Well, I'm going for the Madison goal against Villa.
Yeah.
But really was the cross.
Yes.
And his execution to time his run.
Yeah.
And keep the ball under control. But the cross itself was an absolutely humdinger. But it's so hard to pick and choose these. You know, you have to make a choice, and that's the one I've gone for.
Tottenham are looking good again, aren't they?
Oh.
Now they've got the players back from injury. Their top 11 is Champions League quality. With the addition of one or two others, you can really see them making inroads.
This is the best Tottenham team I have seen since Harry Redknapp when he got him into Champions League. But this looks more compact, it looks more threatening, it looks more... I mean, Harry's looked exciting because they had Bale. But this team is not only is it exciting, it looks capable of winning something.
How many Tottenham players get into Arsenal's team?
Sorry?
How many Tottenham players get into Arsenal's team?
Well, you see, that question is a very tricky question.
It is, isn't it?
Because the reason why I say that, they play different styles of football.
Mm.
You know, Madison would go in for a start.
Sonny?
Son, I'd take Son tomorrow, me, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
You know, but you see, why you get that question asked to a lot of people.
Romario and the fella that plays Van de Ven.
I played there with majority of them.
Mm.
I didn't play there when Francis was there or Schultz, but I'm going as Schultz coming.
Yes. Yeah.
But I would say Cloughy had 6 world-class players and 5 very good players. You know, it's about getting the balance right. But Tottenham looks a very, very good team.
I think the good... Well,
they use the ball. And when I say use it, you have to use it with accuracy to be the great teams. Mm. But they use it tempo better than majority of other teams. And that's what's making this team. And plus, you can see they want to play for it. All of them speak highly of Poch, don't they? Not Poch, as...
Big Ange Postecoglou. That's my next question. Who's got the better manager?
Who's got what?
Who's got the better manager? Arsenal or Tottenham?
Listen, when he took over Arsenal, I said he's going to be a top manager.
Yes, he did.
Make no mistake.
You wanted him at Wednesday.
But I'll tell you what, they both got great managers.
They haven't they?
You know, I wouldn't swap one for other.
No.
Because I think they both suit that team.
Yeah.
Or their teams.
And I think that's the ethos as well of both of their sides. You probably, if you're a Tottenham fan, wouldn't swap many of Tottenham's players for Arsenal. And conversely, if you're an Arsenal fan, wouldn't swap many Arsenal players for Tottenham's. I think both on with their fit starting 11, I think both are a very good matchup. And the North London derby, easy in a few weeks' time, isn't it? So that'll be a very interesting game.
Both sets of players suit the way how their teams play,
Absolutely.
How the managers want them to play.
Yeah.
So you've got to look at who's going to fit into Arsenal team or who's going to fit into Tottenham team.
Yeah.
The way how they play.
And will Tottenham
sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Absolutely. And will
Tottenham... But they've both got very good players and very good teams.
Absolutely. Will Tottenham fit into the top 40? Do you think that top 4 place?
I think now I think they've hit the bad spell and that's gone out of the wayside. I think they're on a tremendous run again.
Massive game. That wasn't a great win.
Yeah, I'm looking at is obviously Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool, Man City,
Arsenal,
and Tottenham I think that's how it'll go.
Yeah, Villa 5th. I mean, there's still a lot of games to go. I think there's still 10 games to go. There's going to be twists and
That hadn't
turns.
done Villa any good though.
No, it didn't. When you
They
get
beat
pumped,
1-0, you think,
yeah,
well, you know, they
sending
played well,
off.
so and so, but Tottenham made them look disorganised team, didn't they? They haven't looked that at all, Villa.
Sending off, did it really change the game? I mean,
Yes, always does.
Tottenham were on top. Tottenham probably would have still gone on and won. And I do think Tottenham have got the better 11 than Aston Villa. But it's been a great season for Villa. And you never know. Again, Tottenham, I think Tottenham have come from a different starting point to Villa. Villa, since they went into the Premier League, have always been playing catch-up. And I've said to Tom, the one thing Villa need is time. And I think that if they can bring in a couple of better players than they've got for next season, who knows, they could go even closer.
I mean, you look at what he's achieved at Tottenham. Never managed in the. You see, this is what makes me laugh with people when they say, experience, never managed in Premier League and all that. And then they'll turn around and say, yeah, but he's got the experience, he's worked here, he's worked there, he's worked all over Europe, but, you know, all over the world, that type of thing. What he's achieved at Tottenham in that space of time and playing that type of football, and on top of that, losing the country's leading goal scorer.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal achievement.
It is. You know, when you think about it, you know, Harry Kane, England's best forward by a mile for some time now, to actually go into a new club in a new country, into a new league, lose the best striker that you've got and still make it better, takes some doing. So well done, Ange.
I'm not criticising Harry Kane because what he's done
Neither am I.
at Bayern Munich's brilliant.
Yeah.
But they look a different and a better team.
They're more balanced, aren't they?
They look more balanced. They look more exciting.
Yeah.
They look quicker.
Yeah.
Well, they don't look quicker. They are quicker. They look quicker because they are quicker.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
I think it's going to be a great running. It's been a very interesting season. I think the close season will be even more interesting. And we always look forward to watching quality teams, and Tottenham Hotspur are one of them. I do remember watching them early doors, and I thought this is the best I've seen a team play in the Premier League for a long time. And then they did catch one or two injuries, caught up with them, and then they just fell off. But I think Tottenham are back to their brilliant best.
Can you remember? Sorry.
No, go on. Can you remember?
Can you remember what the pundits used to say? About Guardiola, he's only got one way of playing.
Well, most of the pundits.
And Guardiola turned around and said, "Well, I'll improve.
Yeah.
Me A plan."
Well, you've always said
and
that.
And same thing has been said when he had that little bit of a blip.
Yeah.
They started to talk about him.
Yeah.
He's only got one way of playing.
Yeah, he likes to play in a certain way.
He likes to play in the front foot.
That's his way. He ain't gonna change because he's got a couple of injuries.
I don't give a damn who you're playing against. Yes, the
100%.
great players will always find a way. The great players will always find a way. But you give them time.
Yeah.
And they will kill you anyway.
Yeah.
If you go and press them, and I don't mean just one pressing. We're talking about the outfield players pressing. And it's not only just pressing the ball or the man on the ball, it's pressing its space so that ball can't go into it.
Absolutely. And again, I go back, all the good managers have a philosophy, and if plan A isn't working, they improve plan A. I just don't get this. What's his plan B? We ain't got a plan B. He takes off a player and he puts on another player that plays in that position and plays in the same way, and he's going to improve.
Yeah, but you know the plan B's in this country.
Oh, they're crazy, isn't they? Yeah.
You know, get the ball forward. Nobody's questioning not to play a long ball. Nobody.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Liverpool played it fantastically.
But you only play that ball when it's an advantage to you. Yeah. What's the point in playing it to give it away?
And that's what Liverpool done so successfully against Man City. They are more direct. They like to get it in the channels. They like to give it Luis Diaz, and Donny like to run at defenders.
This Liverpool youngsters
brilliant,
are
aren't
going to turn out
they? Yeah,
as good, if not better, than this Manchester United youngster did.
yeah.
There's something not right with his Klopp, him leaving.
No, I still don't understand it.
I don't understand this.
No, I'm tired.
This has
No, I'm
nothing,
not buying
regardless of what people say, and everybody's entitled opinions, and I'm not knocking their opinions. I'm saying, but for me, you do not leave a team of this quality.
No, no.
Right? Yes, you have. You've always got to be buying top quality players to keep up with the elites. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But when you get quality like this, right, and some of the better young ones, right, didn't play because they were injured.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I find it amazing that they've got this quality, and Klopp has decided to take a break.
Yeah, I do. I think there's still more to it. It's going to come out in time.
Yeah, it'll come out.
But again, like yourself, T, I look at it and I think, why now? Why? I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe somebody in the family is ill, etc. We don't know, and it's his business, his private life. But there must be more than I'm tired, because this is arguably, potentially, one of the greatest Liverpool teams that I've seen. Magic moments. Alex Gilby is chipped for MK Dons against Salford. I thought that
Great
was
goal.
absolute, the way he's just let it roll across, It's almost a kind of like, I remember, a lot of people also remember Eric Cantona, but I remember Teddy Sheringham scoring a goal like that. And
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, and, for me, Sheringham was a better player than
the
Cantona.
Arrogance of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Teddy was a fantastic player who never really got the credit that he deserved. But if you're going to give me,
I think he got the credit. I think he got the credit. This problem was when he went to Man United, it were towards the end of his career.
He was seen as a
So he
champagne
played
Charlie,
a bit
wasn't he?
part, but Tottenham and Forest, they were always in that team, and he were always highly for. The thing is, with Teddy Sheringham was he didn't score as many goals as Kane.
No,
but there were similar type of player.
Yeah,
they didn't have that blistering pace, didn't they?
I mean, Teddy was a thinking man's football player, wasn't he? He was more of a goal provider than a goal taker. But again, going back, if you're going to give me the choice of Cantona and Sheringham, I'm having Teddy Sheringham all day long.
Well, I think Cantona got both, really. Got goals and he got...
Oh, he's a great player.
Cantona, it's unpredictable. What we're,
Where you gone, T?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What do you do? Just press the wrong button?
No, I just wonder what had happened then.
Oh, it just went bump. I thought, what's going on here? Well, probably it's Eric Cantona. Having said that, I think Teddy Sheringham is arguably a better singer than Eric Cantona. Mind you, he's coming out on tour, isn't he? Big Eric. I mean, God knows who's going to turn up and watch him.
Did you watch him sing all the week?
I thought he sounded like a strangled cat. To be fair, I thought it was absolutely awful.
I thought I got earache listening to it.
I mean, if you're looking at one, a kind of like wedding and a pissed up granddad or uncle gets up and starts singing, sounds like Eric Cantona, doesn't he? But there you go.
I could not believe how bad that was, and then they all clapped him.
Well, I know, but I can't. Do you know what I can't believe? I can't believe somebody's listened to Eric Cantona and thought, I think it's a really good idea to put him on primetime TV singing.
Hang on a bit. It's not about that.
Nah, of course it's not.
It's about... They know they're going to get money.
Of course they do, yeah. So what it's all about.
And they're not bothered about whether people buy it, because it'll be sponsors what do it all.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%.
Gabby,
listen, I've been in football, and I've told you before, they used to say to me, I had all the best managers bought me in my time, every one of them.
Yeah.
They said to me, if you shut up, we'll push you all the way. All right? But not only do I make money out of it, they make money out of it.
Of course they do.
And I'm my own boss. I don't mean that in a clever way. I don't like being told you're going to have to do this or do this just to... What I mean by that, if you do this, then you're ripping other people off. I'm not that type of person.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Everybody's the
Absolutely
same as me. That's how I look at it.
And I thought your song, Singing the Blues, is far better than anything that Eric has ever sung
Beautiful.
as well.
I never felt more like singing the blues.
Quality, TC. And still playing it down Hillsborough now to this very day. Well, not to
I
this
played
day
every
because I'm
day
not playing.
myself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I think, do you know what? Before we started doing the Curran View, and I'd seen that Singing the Blues and Terry Curran, I thought, no, that can't be the footballer Terry Curran singing that. And I really didn't realise that it was you that was singing that song.
Gabby,
And it's
listen to me
fantastic.
carefully.
Yeah.
Go in the studio. It's amazing what they can do in the studio.
I know, yeah.
It's
amazing what they can do with the camera now. You've seen the Princess of Wales.
No, I'm not. What's?
Well, she posed for a photograph, didn't she, for Mother's Day and doctored it. I think she'd left one of the kids' hands off or something, and they looked at it and thought, well, this picture looks as though it's been
There's a lot of
doctored.
things. There's a lot of things coming out about what's because she's not been seen for a while, has she?
Well, again, I don't know. There's always going to be speculation and stuff, isn't there? I mean, the Royals are the most watched family on the planet.
On the planet,
You know, I just wish they'd leave them alone and let them crack on with it.
Yeah.
But I do like her. I think she's a tasty piece as well. Danny
I
Motta.
hope your lass is not listening.
She never listens to me. She don't like me. Another tasty piece was Danny Motta's goal for Monza against Genoa. That's oh, what a volley that was, wasn't it? Bang!
Unbelievable.
Back of the net. I mean, such velocity he hit that ball with. I mean, the goalie never stood a chance. Two goalkeepers wouldn't have stood a chance.
You can see when they strike it, whoever it is, when they catch it right, it is some goal like, isn't it?
And three goalkeepers wouldn't have stopped this one. Okay, Yokoloshu. I think that's how it's pronounced his name. West Bromwich Albion versus Huddersfield. I mean, that was like a bullet.
That first half, it was such a poor game.
They were terrible, weren't they, the Albion?
And I finished up having 40 quid on, when they were 1-0 down, I finished up having 40 quid on West Brom.
Mm.
I was messaging my mate, Tank, backwards and forwards, and I said to him, don't worry, they'll beat these.
Mm.
Like second half, it were all West Brom, and Huddersfield looked back. But football's a funny old game, as Saints and Greavesy used to say.
It certainly is. I mean, I was working on Sunday, so I was listening to a little bit of the commentary, and Bomber Brown does the commentary on BBC WM here in the Midlands, and Bomber was saying,
player he was.
Oh, absolutely, Bomber was saying it's terrible. You know, I've not seen the Albion play like this bad for a long time. You know, he needs to, Corbrand needs to have a word with them at half time. And I mean, Bomber wasn't very happy at all. I mean, he was quite happy at the end because they really did turn it. And I tell you, a player I like, Mikey Johnson, the kid that they got from Celtic. He looks a player, and I tell you what, he done half score some goals.
I tell you what, Portsmouth just missed an absolutely open goal.
Oh, what you watching? You watching the Pompey game?
No, I've got football results on.
Okay.
Football, but Jock's not playing because he's got a badly sprained ankle.
Yeah.
So I'm sat in the room. I usually go into the bedroom.
I'm watching Barcelona versus Napoli.
They're 2-0 up, aren't
they? Yeah, battering them. I mean, Barcelona do look a cut above. To be fair, I watched the first game in the Diego Maradona Stadium, and they were a far better team than Napoli. But, 2-0, they do
I was up on my cup that night because I had Napoli to beat them. But Barcelona
look so open as well, Napoli.
This year. I've watched them about 4 times, me.
Napoli looks so open.
That Genoa, is it Genoa? They were beaten
Genoa.
At half time, and then the finish up getting beat. I've watched them about 3 or 4 times this year. Then.
Oh, who was that team you're watching? Barcelona versus who?
Genoa.
Yeah, is it the one that he plays for?
Well, no, he plays for Getafe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Greenwood.
Yeah, got ya.
But it's Pep Guardiola's brother's something to do with it.
Oh, right, okay. I don't watch really La Liga, but whenever I've seen Barcelona in the Champions League, they do look tidy, as do Inter Milan. You know, could there be another winner on the cup this year? I know that both have won it many times before, but not in recent times. but Barcelona and I think Inter Milan are two good bets for the Champions League this year. I think with Lewandowski, he just gives you a puncher's chance against anybody, doesn't he? He's one of the greatest goal scorers in recent times. Book Corner TC, our book of the month, Too Good to Be Forgotten by Ben Dobson, looking at the careers, pretty much 70s theme book of Bobby Robson, Laurie McMenemy and the great Brian Howard Clough. Looks like a great book, and I am going to be catching up with Ben as I do with all of our authors of the books of the month next month for a podcast to talk about the book and how he came about writing that book. Three great men of football.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get that book, Gab, because obviously you spoke about last couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get that book. It sounds a very interesting book, Gab.
Well, there's just so many great books. I mean, the last one, of course, was Brian Moore Saved Our Sundays by Matt Eastley. And in January, our book of the month was Ojogo Bonito by, it's a mouthful, in it, by Gary
I bet you
Thacker.
can't say that quick.
Yeah, I mean, it means a beautiful game in Portuguese. Brazilians, use the Portuguese language, and that's what it means.
Right.
Ojogo Bonito. So yeah, all of these podcast guys are on. However you access your podcast on what platform, you just go on there, type in SRB Media, and all our podcasts
He's come
come up
across
for
quite
you.
well on his podcast. Joey Barton,
Yeah, he's very intelligent, isn't he?
Mm.
He's a clever lad, Joey Barton.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he'd be buying any season tickets for the Continental Cup Women's League Cup final later on at the Molineux, I think, this month. But there you go. He's not a great lover of women's football. But then again, most of us aren't really.
I don't think he's against it.
It's the woke
he's
stuff,
against
isn't
the
it?
wokeness side
Absolutely.
of it.
And it really does put you off. I quite like it. I think it's a decent game, but I'd like them to be judged on their game and not try and judge on the men's.
When everybody else was having a little
Yeah,
dig
absolutely,
at me, taking the Michael.
Yeah.
And I stopped watching it because it woke. I have not watched it since COVID came out.
No, I turn it off now. But I used to be a big fan of them when there was not the comparison to the men's game. And that really annoys me. But again, to be fair, it ain't the birds' problem. It's the media's problem. And it's a narrative that they've been told to drive.
I'll say it out loud.
Because they are corrupt.
Because fake news you're giving all the time.
Absolutely. Do you know what? They wouldn't give them an inch in terms of column inches when I used to be the stadium announcer at Birmingham City Ladies.
Yeah, but you know why? You know what's going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're getting paid to push it.
100%. 100%, and it's repulsive.
They'll not say what they think about it.
Of course they won't.
Because they're getting paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And then they come out and they want to have a go at people.
Yeah.
Right? But there'll be nobody worse than them for slagging women's football off, sat up in their little boxes.
I'll tell you what, I've had arguments with local media people, broadcasters, etc., because they wouldn't do anything for Birmingham City Ladies in the past. I mean, these same people now have got the tongue so far up their arses, you need an operation to withdraw them. But this is what the media are like. Generally speaking, they're just a bunch of arseholes. But, say what you think, mate. But Bobby Robson, I mean, that Ipswich Town of the 70s.
Fabulous football team.
Napoli just got one back. Great little move there, 2-1. Yeah, perhaps there's going to be a game now.
Listen, see if I can name that team. Cooper, Mills, Burley.
Burley Mills, yeah.
Yeah, Beatty, Hunter.
That was the earlier team, wasn't it? Because then Osman, Russell Osman and Terry Butcher.
And Butcher came after.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then they had Walk.
Yep.
Tyson and Muren.
Yep. Eric Gates, Brazil, Mariner.
Yeah, Gates and Brazil. Yeah, but I'm trying to think.
Mark was there before.
Some other players that's on tipping my tongue.
Brian Hamilton was there.
Yeah.
Mick Lambert was there before.
Lambert, that's what I'm looking for.
There was a number.
Him with the Italian name, Spanish name. I think. Yeah,
Colin Viljoen. Yeah, Colin Viljoen.
Yeah. And then you got Cooper, Mariner, Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, that's some great players.
You know what he done there, Bobby? He really developed probably certainly two teams, because one was really the early 70s and one was the late 70s. So even in the 70s, he developed two.
I think they may have won more if Beat. I like Butcher and I like Osmond, but
Yeah.
you know, if that Beattie don't get injured,
Oh, absolutely. What a player
because
he
he's got
was.
every mortal thing: pace, aggression, natural talent,
the beat.
control, football brain. He got everything, that kid. I mean, I never saw Duncan Edwards, right? But he got every mortal thing.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Beattie.
Yeah, I mean, there's a statue outside Pullman Road of Kevin Beattie. Again, they say Rolls Royce of a player. It's a term that they give to a lot of players, but he was an absolute gem.
Yeah, but I don't think there's no harm in that. If you're a Newport fan, and you've got an idol, what's a legendary or football, what is wrong with saying? You know, because I hear them all say, "Oh, it's thrown about." Everybody has a different opinion.
Of course they do, yeah.
You know, I mean, I was listening to Souness the other day, and he don't think this player's not a good player. And I'm thinking to myself, but at the end of the day, that's his opinion. He's entitled to it.
Yeah, but I think everybody's opinion of Kevin Beattie would be the same. What a player!
He said he wasn't a world-class player.
Yeah, I would agree with Graham. I always liked David Beckham, but I always thought.
You tell me a better passer of ball than Beckham.
I wouldn't dispute that from that right hand side. And again, I get what you say to a certain degree, but
I mean,
Keegan,
always struggled
I think
to get into the Real Madrid team.
And
Beckham, when he first went there, but then all of a sudden,
I mean, he was a great player.
He got rain and he. Yeah,
great player.
What I'm trying to say is,
Keegan was a great player.
Where they're coming from.
Yeah, I do.
Right, because that's their opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, and everyone's entitled to it.
You can't turn around and say Beckham because choose where he went, he got into team.
I think he was a very, very good footballer. Same as Kevin Keegan. I know that Kevin won the European Footballer of the Year.
Well, he won Ballon d'Or, didn't he?
Well, it's equivalent now, isn't it? They didn't have the Ballon d'Or in them days. It was European Player of the Year.
European Player of the Year.
The South Americans used to have various ones. I think the different organisations, it's always been a little bit more corrupt, hasn't it, in South America? So they fall out, then form another organisation, and then have another award to give to a player.
Keegan's work rate and effort.
Brilliant.
Got him really right to the top.
And I think that's what Graham was saying. Beckham used every ounce of his ability to get him into the position that he got into. But I think what he was trying to say is, you know, in terms of players of natural ability that you would say a world class or one of the greats. You know, when we look and we say,
I'll tell you what,
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo.
I'll tell you what James Souness this, Perdic. You know, put Beckham in central midfield.
Yes.
Been as good as anybody. He's playing on the right wing. He's not a winger who's going to go past people.
No, he's not. He's just a great crosser of the ball.
Right, so he got criticised for that. Right, he didn't go past people. He ain't got pace. He ain't got this. He got a brilliant football brain, and he's played in a position that I'll tell you what. I think he'd have got more goals by playing central midfield.
Do you know what surprised me towards the twilight of his career?
Will we?
No, we won't. Towards the twilight of Beckham's career, I was surprised that he never played a more deeper lying central midfield role where he could just ping and spray the passes around from that position.
Well,
almost like
going
a quarterback.
To America, so he may have done that.
Yeah, absolutely. But again,
he went to America and got absolutely bundles of pallet loads of cash.
I mean, he's done so well for himself, and all the best to him. As I say, a great player. Whether he's world class remains to. Again, it's why if someone thinks he's world class, then you are world class. If somebody else doesn't, then you know. Again, it's all opinions.
Who's the best player anybody's ever seen? I mean, for me, it's George Best, but.
Yeah, but I would say Maradona.
That's my opinion, and nobody will tell me any different.
Absolutely.
Right? Whether it's Messi, whether it's Pele, I mean, Zidane was as good as anything you've ever seen in your life.
100% Platini. But that's what I'm saying.
Rivellini, Platini, you know.
But when we have these conversations, nobody ever mentions David Beckham, and I think that's what Souness was trying to say in a roundabout fashion, and that's what I agree.
Again, I'll go back where you see. Zico, allowed to go and play football, allowed to walk. We've got it. Listen, what we've got to stop doing, especially in this country, we've had great. Listen, Alan Hudson was as good as midfield players I've ever seen.
100%.
Got criticised.
Yeah.
Right? For whatever it was, whether it was going out drinking or gambling or whatever.
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRB Media. Thank you.